Right now, there is an invisible force dictating how you feel, how you think, and how well you focus. It has nothing to do with your phone screen or your social media feed. It's the physical room you are sitting in. Architecture and interior design function as active environmental controls. These spaces manipulate your psychological state minute by minute through light, volume, and layout. When a space is poorly designed, it introduces subtle points of friction into your daily routine. A cramped walkway or harsh overhead lighting forces your brain to process unnecessary sensory noise, which often manifests as unexplained stress or late afternoon fatigue. Good design works in reverse. It gently guides your physical movement and removes that excess cognitive load. You move smoothly from task to task because the environment is working in sync with your biology. The problem most of us face is a lack of vocabulary. Whether you're navigating a cramped commercial workspace or trying to relax in an outdated residential home, you might know the room feels wrong, but you can't articulate exactly why. Learning the psychology of our built environments gives us that vocabulary. It is the absolute first step to regaining control over our daily well-being and ensuring our surroundings support our goals. To decode a space, we have to start at the macro level. The physical placement of load-bearing walls, room layouts, and hard boundaries creates a structural script that dictates our literal paths of movement. This is where a framework known as modern vernacular architecture comes into play. It bridges a building's raw functional identity with local traditions, anchoring the structure to its specific local environment. Watch how spatial adjustments alter behavior. As corridors widen and windows expand, people gather in illuminated zones. The left half shows commercial layouts, eliminating choke points to encourage collaboration. The right half shows identical logic, pulling residents into a central gathering node. Structural architecture acts as the invisible script for the body, choreographing our daily physical lives through the arrangement of space. Once the structural script is set, we zoom in on the psychological layer, interior design. Color provokes measurable cognitive reactions, signaling either heightened alertness or deep calmness. The wheel gives way to graphs, a vibrant palette driving an energy spike for workspaces, while muted tones achieve a drop in stress for home sanctuaries. Even a perfectly color-calibrated room requires the integration of art and personal touches to feel complete. Thoughtfully chosen artwork breaks up structural monotony. It takes an optimized environment, injects it with warmth and character, and a distinct sense of identity. Architecture builds the functional vessel. Interior design and color psychology fill that vessel with a human soul. Translating abstract emotional needs into physical brick, mortar, and drywall requires a highly technical process. This is where real-world friction often stalls a project. To succeed, you need to understand the distinct roles on the job site. The contractor is strictly responsible for physical execution, managing labor, and assembling raw materials. The architect and designer operate as the master planners. They create the strategic vision, manage spatial flow, and calculate the long-term impacts of every cut. Every structural choice, like a roof's fire rating, alters a building's risk profile, determining your long-term insurance premiums. This dynamic also applies when an architect weighs a renovation against a new build, balancing existing constraints against blank slate costs. You cannot successfully execute a building project without a master planner coordinating the psychological intent with the raw physical execution. Hiring a professional designer is a strategic investment in daily well-being. It is a calculated move to optimize the environment where you spend the vast majority of your life. Because the stakes are so high, affecting your mood, behavior, and daily lifestyle, you need a partner who understands the hard science of building construction and the nuanced emotional weight of interior design. Plexus Research and Design, based in Atlanta, Georgia, steps in to bridge this gap. They specialize in creating innovative, site-specific commercial and residential architecture, integrated seamlessly with full interior design services. Through a deeply collaborative process, they ensure that the final space actually inspires and reflects your unique identity. They skip the cookie-cutter templates to deliver an environment tailored precisely to how you live and work. The spaces we build ultimately build us. It's time to take intentional control of your environment.